get started. All right, so welcome everybody. It's wonderful to have our cross group and Asia Pacific family, friends and family gathering together tonight. And it's just wonderful. Hello, Lei Hoon. I can hear a bit of background over there. And hello, everyone. So yeah, if you can, each of you, as Lily has already typed it into the group chat, put your city or your country next to your name so that we can see where you're all from, because of course, within this Asia Pacific cross group, we have people from all over Asia Pacific. Yeah. So if you can all do that, hello, Judy. Yeah. So if you don't know how to do that, you can see the instruction in the chat where Lily has put it in. Basically, we can get to know each other as a way of introduction. If you click your name, you will see more. Click rename, and then you can put your name. Looks like most people have already done that. So Dennis, Lau, CE, Diana, Jessica, yeah, if you can all do that, YB. Yep, wonderful. Thank you. All right, well, let's get started. So I think you've all received the agenda items that I've sent. And so the first thing is to share positive news. Is there anyone in this group has any good news, positive news regarding your life, your business, either having new customers or new partners or jump new pin level, MUFO, SAMM? Anyone? Don't be shy, come on. We're family. Shelly, I see your beautiful smile. Any positive news? Hello.
Yeah.
No. Okay.
I have received the letter for the confirmation of the Q2 Master UFO.
Oh, fantastic. Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I'm not surprised, Irene, you do that every quarter anyway, don't you?
Or you have to qualify for your SAMM and Master UFO mail
Yes.
call.
Beautiful. Awesome. Okay, so anyone else?
I've got a new customer today from Saturday's Wellness, and I did delivery to her for OPC and digestive enzymes. I've been talking to her for years. It's really like she was ready to try our product, after all these years, even though she's also taking other supplements.
Right. So how did you manage to, after years of her not willing to use the product, suddenly after the Wellness 101 on the weekend, decided that she is happy to try it out?
I think it was a great presentation that the team did with Lily, Hui, and all the testimonials. It was just fantastic. Kudos to all of you, actually. Thank you. I just randomly, invite as many people as I can, and she decided to come in, like she hasn't ever come into any of our Zoom events.
Oh, fantastic. Congratulations, Getsim. That is so good. Okay, maybe one more. Anyone in this group has received any commissions maybe last week?
Yes.
Okay, again, Tom.
Hopefully another one coming this week. I think should be like anyway. But it's fun. Yeah. It's really good.
Fun to receive commission, yeah?
Like, yeah, payday, go and have maybe 2 coffees.
Well
instead of
done.
one.
Well done. Good job. Okay, awesome. All right, well,
I think
yep.
You got your TLS award.
Yes,
And Lily, you got your Motives Award.
Oh my goodness, Lily, Motives, and Kitty.
Oh,
Superstar.
that's good news, isn't it, Lily?
Yeah, but motives, it was pretty simple to hit, I must say, you know. But
You are,
TLS, your business builder, isn't it, with TLS?
yes, yes. Yeah, I was just sharing on social that to me, it's not really about the actual award, but as I go through the process of reaching that award, I think being able to make an impact to help people reach their wellness and weight management goals, and along that with the business building, of course, with the MUFO, SAMM, and my teams growing together, that really is more important. So yeah, thank you. Yeah. Okay, so thank you, Irene. I just wanted to maybe any of you, can think of any other good news, you're very welcome to put it into the group chat. Noreen, did you want to say something?
Well, just congratulations to you all. I'm so happy for you because you so deserve it. Lily, Kitty, Ken, you work so hard for us all. So well done. Congratulations.
Thank you. Okay, so tonight I actually was given this topic that was actually presented to us by Cleo, which I really, really love because I am the type of person that like to always look back and reflect and review and renew and all that kind of thing. And especially now, towards the end of 2020. So I thought, yeah, it would be a good idea if you guys have either a piece of paper or like a notebook or some form of note-taking device on your laptop or your phone, because this key topic on time to reflect, review, revise, and renew, I've actually sort of thought about quite a lot of things that I personally have reflected upon that I would like to share with you. And as we go through that, perhaps you can actually jot down your answers. And of course, I only have about 20-25 minutes, so it won't be a long process. But if once you are able to actually maybe jot down those things that I'm going to be sharing with you, you can actually take some time out to actually do more reflection after, because I believe that will really add value to you as you look back on 2020 and right now what's happening, as well as in the future, 2021 coming up. So let's do that, shall we? And of course, I would love it if you can, put it into the group chat as I share your opinions as well as, your insights as well. So let's get started. Let me, hang on. Can you all see my screen?
Yes.
Right. Okay. So thank you, Cleo, for thinking of this really meaningful topic, because as soon as she actually put it out there for our Asia Pacific core group and asked who would like to maybe facilitate this, I thought, oh, why not? I'd love to try it out, because this is the kind of thing that I love doing, because I love writing journals. I love, thinking through things. I'm pretty much a thinker. And so for me to actually regularly, take time out to reflect mindfully, consciously, is a habit that I formed for years already, not only through the business, but in many areas of my life, whether it's, spiritual life, my relationship, personal development, of course, health and well-being, being a weight management coach. So let's go through this, guys. Now, let's just take some time out to reflect, review, revise, and renew. So we have 4 R's tonight that we are going to be going through. And so 2020 is nearly over, right? We only have 6 weeks before the end of this year. Can you believe it, guys? So what I'd like to first of all ask you, if you can all maybe just write 1 or 2 words, how will you look back on it? Is there any particular thing or any particular rhythm or routine that you generally do towards the end of a year where you would actually look back? Maybe I can just have some of you sort of put it into the group chat. Do you actually have a habit of looking back either, you know, I mean, of course, this is actually towards the end of the year, but even per quarter, per month, per week, any one of you actually, you know, has this kind of habit? If you do, then yeah, I would love for you to share it, okay? So first thing first, as I was thinking about how I look back on this year, this is really a year unlike others. I'm sure you would agree with me. These past few months, particularly with COVID times, you know, have been really a roller coaster of events and emotions for many of us. And everyone is working hard to survive and thrive under the current economic conditions, especially those that are perhaps in traditional businesses, but even people that are in, you know, workforce, you know, like many employees that I know of, and even my loved ones, have been either made redundant or stood down. And I've had many, many people that I know of that have been through that. And what about you guys? Have you actually felt, you know, in the last few months, it's been a roller coaster of events? When I did Basic 5 on Sunday, I actually asked a question about, you know, the emotions and feelings of those that participated, whether you actually have any kind of negative or difficult emotions that you've been through. Because seriously, this year, even I believe the most optimistic, positive, and happy, cheerful people may have gone through some kind of either confusion or, you know, challenging, upset, whether it's to do with people getting sick or, you know, not being locked down and not being able to connect with people. How many of you have experienced that, right? And so what I'd like us to think about is, what do you want to achieve in your life before the year ends? So when we think about our life, is really a big topic. So what I've actually sort of broken it down are 3 different areas that if you like, you can just pick one just to do while we are doing this key topic now, but you can actually spend some extra time, you know, in your spare time later on to talk about as well, or to write it in your journal or on your computer. I mean, I'm going to be writing a blog post on this as well, whether it's on health or weight management or relationship or business. So if you reflect on either one of those, I would like, first of all, for you guys to choose one out of these 3, whether it's health or weight management, relationship or business. So how do you finish the year strong? I'm sure that most of us, just like anyone else, would like to finish the year strong, right? And so because of that, I would really love for us to, as we are thinking about those 4 R's, as we reflect, review, you know, and revise as well as renew, think about that. And I can see that Noreen says she reflects often on work performance, but this year we really, need to focus on health, particularly with the virus happening, right? I agree. That's something that I've been thinking a lot about. And the fact that right now, those of you who may or may not know, Dr. Deidre Mason is actually, you know, going through a 28 days of health right now in this month in November. So I would highly recommend that you go back to watch her if you haven't already on the Facebook group. Lily, if you don't mind typing it in, MA Healthy Living. And that is a Facebook page where Dr. Deidre Mason has had amazing information and really good content that I've learned so much from, even for the last 15 days. Okay, so David says that he reflects on his life purpose and meaning of life and how and what you have impacted others to bring positive change. I love that. Thank you, David, for sharing that. Okay, so first I'm going to be going through the first R that Cleo has given me, and that is reflect. Okay, so let us reflect. Let us reflect on areas of your life that has impacted you this year so far. Okay, as I mentioned, it could either be your health, your weight management, or your relationship, or your business. Or like David or myself, we think a lot about, you know, how we make positive change in people's lives through whether it's you know, our ministry, our spiritual life, it doesn't matter. any area of your life is good, but I think the more we actually, reflect on the different areas, then the more we can improve. So I have two different things that I'd love for you all to think about. Number one is to recall maybe one significant event that has happened in this year, 2020. One significant event, whether it meant, when you got activated, when you participated in the business, you joined the business, or when you reached your first SAMM or MUF or whatever it is, or when you had a new baby or grandchild or whatever it is, just some example there, or an accomplishment. I mean, for me, it was actually today, because I received that trophy from TLS Business Building Award. And so that accomplishment was something that I really don't take it lightly, because to me, I feel that, it signifies not really like an achievement of what I've done, but more like a self-reflection on what I've been able to support others. And that is something that I'm sure that you all have been through different areas of your life. What about challenges that you've overcome? I'm sure that, during this year, you have many, many challenges. We've had people that have passed away. We have people that have had, major illnesses, or maybe loved ones, or really good friends that we've had some disagreement, conflicts, or even some people have had divorces, whatever it is. If you guys would love to maybe share and type it in, you don't have to, because this is quite private. You don't have to, but if you want to, you're more than welcome. What about positive character traits that you've developed? I can say for sure one thing that I've developed is that I've been more patient than last year. What about you? Any positive character traits? What about people who have touched your life? And that has been something that I've been really intentional about, focused in on, because especially during this business, seriously, if we just do things on our own, there's no way we can achieve anything. It is really a team sport. Even right here, many of us, Asia Pacific cross group, we are from different groups, but the fact that we are able to be supporting one another through meeting monthly like this and supporting one another through a WhatsApp group, to me, is something I don't take lightly, and I'm really appreciative of every single one of you. And yeah, I'm happy to hear Irene has an additional grandchild, and it's wonderful. Anyone else has anything special according to this number A, a significant event, accomplishment, challenges you've overcome, positive traits, so when you've actually written them down either on your notebook or on your computer, put that under a headline strengths, if you can do that. Okay, so that is a reflection. Okay, so that's number one. Then B is, I would like you to think about some events, or one event, or one experience, or more than one experiences that were not so positive. So the A part that we were thinking about was the positive experiences, but B now could be something during this year that were not too positive. Okay, it could be like, I know one of my really close friend is now type 4 cancer, and she was told that she's only got months to live. And so to me, that was not a positive experience. Anyone else? Well, you can ask yourself, what was the best thing about what happened to that experience? Because a lot of times, even negative experiences, or what we see as not so good, can be something that we can learn from. For me, because of the fact that, my friend had cancer, I know the importance of not neglecting friendship even when I'm extremely busy. This year, I can say for sure that even though we've been in lockdown, we've been home all the time, personally, I don't know about you guys, I've been busier than ever. I would be on Zoom almost every single day, if not more than one. What about you guys? Right? And the answers to that means when I realized that I've been so focused on building my business and doing what needs to be done, you know, on Zoom and building the business and all that, I have at times neglected my friends. So this experience that is not positive, and that is my friend who has had cancer stage 4, make me realize that I cannot neglect loved ones and all that, you know. So that's that. And the answers may reveal valuable lessons regardless of whether or not you achieved exactly what you set out to. So let's have a look. I just like to really read some of our friends here. Yeah, it's wonderful to see that Noreen attended the MA World Conference. Wow, that's amazing. And of course, the fact that, yeah, Adele, right? We have more like-minded people to encourage you to grow and be a better version of yourself. That's amazing. And for Cleo, it was very traumatic. I still remember you were asking us to pray for your hubby for, you know, having that heart surgery. But God has been really with him, and he's now on the mend, which is wonderful. And Irene lost a UFO this month, and I'm so sorry to hear that. And that's really, really sad. And that is the thing, you know, something negative and sad and like that can really put us into another perspective of really what is important in life as well, right? And David, yeah, becoming a new UFO, yeah, I'm really excited to have you as our partner. It's just something that I'm very grateful. Lily, happy to hear that your husband is now even better than before. Yeah, that's wonderful to hear, Cleo. Partnered with a couple of really good friends who became business partners. And I can say the same about you, Ken. I mean, you were my partners from last year, but this year you've been just full on, really amazingly building as a goal now. And I've learned so much from you. And that's one thing that I every single day, you know, give thanks to God for. And yeah, and Judy, the most significant thing in 2020 is when Judy's husband got called to treat 30 COVID patients during the whole of August. And that, wow, Judy has learned so much from it. And so all of us, thank you for sharing. I don't have time to read everything, but I just really want to thank every single one of you for sharing your answers here. But truly, we really do need to be reflecting, because reflection helps us to actually look back at what we've been through so that we can actually improve ourselves. And so as we are thinking about reflection, one thing that I've been taught actually is from someone that I really, really admire, and that is Melanie Nelson. Melanie Nelson is actually the director of TLS, and she has done a really great video through MA Zoom about attitude. And she talks about this. If we are able to use positive phrasing that incorporates a plan of action, that would be actually better than just saying something like, I should listen more carefully to what my customers or my business partners are saying. But instead of saying just that, that is already a should statement. But to replace that with a positive phrase, like I listen. So this is like present perfect, present tense happening right now, just like our goal statement, right? I listen to my customers, or I listen to my business partners more carefully by asking clarifying questions. And when I listened to that video, my hand on my heart, I felt guilty because I don't always do that. I am someone that likes to talk, as I'm sure many of you who know me knows, and I don't always listen well. So this is an area, as I reflect on, I need to do better and to really not only listen more carefully and more mindfully, but to also ask clarifying questions rather than just assume things. So what about you? If you have any techniques and any tips that you can share with us about how you reflect, then that's something we would love to hear, and you can pop that into your group chat as well. All right. Okay, so Number 2 is review. Okay, we've gone through reflection, and Cleo says some good, some bad, but not beating myself up, looking at what I've achieved and what I can achieve in time to come. Thank you, Cleo. Yeah, I've actually been known to be someone that I can actually beat myself up easily. When I see myself not doing well in certain areas of my goals or even treating others, I do beat myself up by sort of, going into a negative mode. So it's true what you say there, Cleo, that really need to focus on, what's good, but what is bad, then we can reflect and improve. Thank you for that. All right, so review is number 2R. Review the different areas of your life. Okay, when we're talking about reviewing, for me personally, I think a lot about well-being. And those of you who know me know that I've published a book called Juggling Health and Wealth. In that book, I talk about the 5 dimensions of health and the 5 pillars of wealth. So here, when I'm reviewing my health, I talk about the 5 dimensions, which I always use an anchor action. As you can see me, this is an anchor, right? So when I do an anchor action, so it's like going up, down, and then out. So that is spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, and social. So these are the 5 basic fundamentals of our health and well-being. So when you think about that, perhaps you can review, how have you been doing this year with your spiritual health, with your mental health, with your emotional health, with your physical health, social health, and as I mentioned, to me, thinking about the area of social health, I really need to take more time out to care for and to love on and to support my loved ones and my friends and family, right? And then the other thing that you can review for this year are the basic 5 fundamentals of your business. And those of you who attended our basic 5, or many of you would have done it before, know those 5 different areas. So who can type in the group chat, what are those 5 basic 5? We have 5 different speakers on Sunday. In fact, I don't know whether you're all here tonight, but I've got first, basic 5, I talked about attitude and knowledge. Number 2 was, what is the second one? Justin, who talked about goals and goal statement. And then number 3 of the basic 5 is Lily, who talked about retelling. The 4th of the basic 5 was Ken, who talked about prospecting, qualifying, and recruiting. And then we had Auntie Ann Look, who talked about follow-up and ABC pattern. So when you're actually reviewing your business, one good thing to do is to actually look at those 5 areas. So list these areas on a separate sheet of paper, and then, as I mentioned, you can do it on a computer note and consider what are the things that you're grateful for. And you can identify which dimensions of those areas, spiritual, mental, emotional, physical, social well-being, that you've been taking less care of or neglecting. And I remember one of the 28 days of health, Dr. Deidre Mason talked about the importance, which she has been talking all this time during the pandemic, that community builds immunity, and it's since become my ethos. And every time when I go on Zoom, I feel like, yes, you guys right now, all of you from Asia Pacific Cross Group family, really, are my community, and you help me to build my immunity. So that area, if you have been neglecting, what about, as I mentioned, for me, social, or because I haven't been out and about like I used to, meeting people. But now that the COVID restrictions have gone down, I've been going out to meet people, which I'm very happy about. What about you? If you would like to write that down, or if you want to share, feel free. And also, what about, other areas like the values that you live by, the present status of areas, or any current challenges that you're facing. So these are the different areas that perhaps you can take some time out to review and see whether those 5 dimensions of health and the 5 basics of our business, you've been doing well or can improve on. So that is the review part of it. Now, then the other side is choose 1 or 2 areas that you most want to improve in 2021. Let's say, number 1, why do I want to achieve a specific outcome? If you were just to say, oh, I want to lose weight, or I want to be a master UFO, it's really not specific enough. The important thing is to really have a specific why, because as we all know, that at the center of everything is a why. If you have a why with your goals and goal statements specifically written down, then it will inspire you, it will excite you. You know what? For the whole of last year, to be, able to achieve the TLS business building challenge has been on my goal statement. And of course, now with the 90-day fast track accountability, I've got another goal statement until the end of it. So these are the things that I've actually written down that I know very specifically what I want to do that inspires me. I want to help my goal now business partners to achieve their goals. So that to me really inspires me, because I know that only if I do that, then I will be able to contribute to them and make a difference to their lives. And number 2, what are the underlying beliefs and resources required for you to take that consistent action? Because we all know that in order to achieve certain type of outcome, we need to have consistent, massive action. So as you review back to this year, what have you done that you haven't been able to, that you want to achieve and improve next year? Then think about it and write them down, and think about the strategies that you have not been able to do, whether it's, 1 out of the basic 5, you have not been reading your goal statement. There are, different things that we can do on a daily basis, like listening to audio or attending GMTSS event or going to, this upcoming weekends leadership school, stuff like that. And if you haven't been, doing things that are supposed to be helpful for you to reach your outcome, then perhaps think about what you will need to do that, so that it will be congruent with your goals, and then you will take those actions. And number 3 is specific actions that must be taken daily, weekly, or monthly to achieve this outcome. Whether it's, let's say, TLS, I've been doing a lot of 30-day jumpstart since March. We've done Gatlin during quarantine, 30 days, and then we've got a 6-week spring slim down. And now, I've been doing since June, July, August, September, 30-day jumpstart, for different groups. So for specific actions that people must take daily is, of course, they need to eat protein and fiber every meal. Makes losing weight no big deal. They need to take the supplementation, they need to drink the aloe, exercise, that kind of thing. So these are the things that we need to be doing in order to really reach the outcome that you want, right? And then, of course, let's say, again, if you want to reach if you're in any kind of accountability group, let's say the 90-day accountability, some of us are doing with Kevin Buckman, or when we used to do it with Carl Eklund, the 6x6, global 6x6, all of that. We actually have, a tracking sheet, whether it's your back office, weekly tracking, where you can have a coach or accountability partner. That will actually increase your success. So what I would like to encourage you, if you haven't been doing that this year, as you review your results and you know that you're not where you need to be, whether it's your pin level, whether it's you're activated or not, whether you have enough 10 to 15 customers, whether you're a master UFO, SAMM, or whether you want to be having better relationship with your husband, your wife, your children, your grandchildren, whatever it is that you've written down, as you review that, I would like for you to think about that, the specific actions, okay? Then number 3R is revise. Now, when we think about revise, I've got nephew who's actually in year 12, and he's been doing a lot of revision for his studies. But for us, who are actually doing business, when we're thinking about revising, we are actually doing a lot of learning. I mean, as you are actually going through so much GMTSS events, whether it's our weekly Zoom training, you know, a UBP, Basic 5, and UOT, all of those are something that we always need to revise. Many people, even from my team or other team, have been telling me, well, I've actually been through NUOT already. Why do I have to do it every quarter? The reason is if you don't revise it, you will not be able to actually, you know, get the most out of it. And in fact, you know, even for me, when I run a lot of training myself, I also attend other people's training. So as you revise, the second thing is to implement what you've learned, because learning is one thing, but if you don't do what you know, then it's nothing. One thing that my dad used to teach me, and that my dad is actually a Bruce Lee fan, you see, and he loves this saying from Bruce Lee, and that is, knowing without doing is not knowing. Bruce Lee used to teach his students when they, you know, did fighting martial art, is that I've taught you all of this, you know, way to fight, but then you know about it here, but if you don't implement it, if you don't apply it, then you don't really know it. And even for me, when I listen to Auntie Anne on Sunday about follow-up and ABC pattern, that's the area that is my weakest link. And I know about the content of ABC pattern, but I've not been able to implement it fully by duplicating it down to my team. So what about you? If you can think about the things that you've revised through the learning that you do with our business or in other areas, and if you haven't been implementing, then I would love to encourage you, just like I'm telling myself that I really need to apply what I learned. So let's ask ourselves, what would the person I would like to become? Let's say I want to be like Auntie Anne, you know, to be helping so many of her team to be successful. What would she do when she's in this situation, let's say? Or in the case of being a TLS certified trainer and coach and health practitioner, what would my leader, like Dennis Franks is one leader that I highly respect and admire, what would he do when it comes to coaching people? How would that person I would like to become do what I'm about to do when it comes to, you know, interacting with people? As a Christian, I always think about this word, what would Jesus do? If you are like me, you know, like, and love Jesus, then you probably have asked yourself that question, what would Jesus do? Or maybe you're not a Christian, you have someone that you adore, your mom, your dad, or your family, your husband, your wife, you can think about that. Really, if you can think about that person that you would like to become, what they would do in certain situations, that would really represent the course of action that you can do. And I think that's an area that as I reflected, revised, and review, I need to do a lot more. Okay, so the other thing is measure, monitor, and adjust and control. And this slide is actually from Basic 5. So when it comes to our business, based on the results from your actions, you can actually adjust the date of completion. Let's say, you know, this has, we've just gone through week 7 of our 12-week of the 90-day fast track. So with our team, we've gone through halfway of week 6, and we had a bit of a meeting together and thought about, you know, the goal statement that we each had, and thought, well, maybe we could actually adjust the date of completion. For me, to think that I would reach professional coordinator by December, I feel is stretching it a bit. So instead of thinking that I would reach professional coordinator by 18th of December, I've moved it to the end of the first quarter, 31st of March. So that's my adjustment. What about you? You may be on track with your goal, and that is amazing. But if you're not, then don't worry. You can always measure, monitor, and adjust it. You can adjust the date. I know for a fact that many of my TLS students and clients wanted to lose 10 kilos within the 30 days, but majority of them may only lose 5 kilos, and that's still good. Then I would say to them, why don't you do another, after the 30-day, another 6-week or 8 weeks or 12-week program, and then you'll be able to lose another 5 or 10 kilos that you want. So don't beat yourself up, just like Cleo said. If you haven't reached the goals that you want to reach, adjust the action plan. You can either move the date or actually do more. So let's say if I know that one of my clients was talking to me, she really wanted to, by the end of December 31st, which is the end of this year, reach her 10 kilos, and she started losing, I think, 4 or 5 kilos. So in the next 6 weeks, if she really wants to reach the next 6 kilos, she needs to be doing fat shredder program. So then instead of doing, rapid results or short studies, you might have to change the action plan. Okay, and then number 3 is additional training. It could really be that we might not have what the knowledge, the skills that we have to reach the goals that we have. That's why when people tell me, oh, why is it that I have not been able to, lose the amount of weight or body fat percentages? It could be that they haven't been through our comprehensive 12-week TLS program, where we actually give really detailed training. It's not just like the 30-day jumpstart where, on the Facebook group, we see how you go with your menu plan, your exercise, and simple like that. But we really give the 4 pillars of training with really detailed information. So say, for example, for me, if I was to become a professional coordinator and I knew that there is 1 or 2 areas that I'm not good at, I would then need to actually go into the learning center or more training through, the upcoming leadership school, whatever it is, that allows me to do better in recruiting, in qualifying, in sharing the plan, in speaking, whatever it is, ABC pattern, which is really, to be honest, my weakest link. And the last thing is take the basic 5 diagnostic. Okay, so this is actually the basic 5, but for those of you who have other goals, it's the same thing as you revise, okay? The last R is renew. Now, I've actually thought about a few renewal that we can actually think about. Of course, there can be more than one. The first one is meaningful relationships. I feel this year I've had 2 extremes, to be honest with you. One is to acknowledge the people you included in your support network under the strengths, how we talked about in the very first R of reflection. Under strengths, there are people that are your loved ones, your family, your friends, even cross group like this, Asia Pacific cross group, or in my own moving up group, or my UofL University group, my own teammates. These certainly are my support network, right? And during the next week or the next 6 weeks before the end of this year, I would like you to take the initiative to recognize the people that are in your support group that have really contributed to your life, to your different areas, whether it's, your friendship, your relationship, your spiritual life, your business, in a meaningful way for creating that positive impact on your life. When I thought about the fact that I was able to receive the TLS Business Building Award, I really wanted to thank Auntie and Luke, Angie and Kevin, who are my senior partners, like people that have been really investing into my life. And of course, with TLS, it would be Melanie Nelson, Dennis Franks, Dr. Deidre Mason, and Suzanne Howe. These are the people that have really impacted my life. And what about you? Think about people that have done that and been someone that really has given you positive and influential impact to you. Then you can do this in a number of ways by either sending them a thank you note, thank you post on social. I actually did a video for one of my 28 days of how to thank Dr. Deidre Mason for the way that she's been really blessed me. What about a personal message via WhatsApp, emails, doing errands for that person, a gift delivery? We've got in our hands so many partner stores and so many amazing products. Why not send a gift delivery to someone that you love? Do that. Or a phone call to tell them how much you care for them, you appreciate them. or ketchup. I've already since, made every single week now, different ketchups with people that I really adore and admire. The second thing I'd like to encourage you to renew is your goals and your passion and purpose for life, and celebrate your achievements, because oftentimes it's really the small things that are the big things. The little things can add up to the truly meaningful experiences for our life that we generally recognize only when we look back. This year is 2020, and I remember last year, 2019, I actually put together 20 goals in 2020 with actually I had someone design these 20 goals in 2020. So many of them did not come to pass because I couldn't travel. I was going to take my mom to China to visit her family and relatives. Many of those did not come to pass. But looking back, hindsight, which is what we call 2020 vision, right? Look back to put the pieces together. I'm still really, really grateful. And I'm still thanking God every single day that I've had these opportunities this year to do what I've been able to do. And even being able to be spending the day every day with my husband at home has been a wonderful thing, right? So I think it's important for us to actually renew our goals. I know for a fact that those 20 goals in 2020, I probably have only reached maybe 2 or 3. But I'm still thankful for all that happens to create all the challenges in life, because only challenges can transform us to the better and to be the better person that we can be. And many people never take the time to celebrate their own achievements and accomplishments. Some people may reach a goal and then they jump to the next one. What I'd like us to do as we are reflecting, reviewing, revising, and renewing is to really think about things that you've done and give yourself a pat on your shoulder or your back and to say thank you to yourself and to others. So in conclusion, I just like to encourage you, and I want to thank Cleo for giving this topic for me to have this opportunity to put together this, because as I was preparing this, I spent quite a fair bit of time preparing this. I really had some aha moments to make the time to reflect, review, revise, and renew, as I was able to think about how 2020 has impacted me personally and how my actions have also impacted my year and my clients, my customers, my students, and my partners. And I know that I still fall short, but I know as I renew my goals, I can do better in 2021. Then every single one of us can have the most extraordinary beginning of the rest of our life in 2021. So that's all I would like to share tonight. So let's all take time out before the end of this year to do all these 4 R's: reflect, review, revise, and renew. Thank you. Is there anyone, I think we've still got about 2-3 minutes before 5 to 11, like to share about those 4 R's? Maybe one person, then we'll go into the next agenda item. No? Okay, that's fine. All right, so next agenda item is we've got 3 really amazing unfranchised owners that I've invited in 3 different countries to share about either a product or the partner stores that they like. So first up, we've got Ken Fong from Australia, who's going to be sharing about a product that he likes. Thank you, Ken.
Actually, you mean 2 amazing franchise owners and Ken, is it? Oh.
You are one amazing partner of mine. And if I was to say one thing about my review, was to say thank you, Ken, for being my partner, for trusting me to be sponsored by me, because I believe I've learned more from you than you have learned from me.
That is not true. That is not true. I think we learn from each other. This is the fun bit about this business here, Kitty.
I adore you, Ken.
Thank you so much. This is great. I can't remember what I wanted to share about. Let me think. Oh yes, is the actually today I'm not going to share about the health and nutrition products, which I normally do. I've been using the Lumiere DV Homs product, and I think it was like you and Charmaine who
Yes.
actually recommended this to me, because I was like, oh, it's been years since I used skincare products. I don't know why. I always find it like too oily or too annoying or like too strong, the smell. Something about it just puts me off. But there's two things I really like. I like mint and I like lemongrass, right? and
Okay.
and the and the products actually are both. I'm like, oh, thank God, because there's not that many Lumiere de Vie Homes range for me to use. So I'm like, oh, fingers crossed. I'm hoping
All
it's a
right.
it's a good smell, but it's fantastic. So the kit, not sure, sorry about Malaysia or Singapore, but certainly the kit we get here is there's three. There's the cleanser, then there's also the the cleanser, the ultralight moisturizer, which is fantastic. Oh, I love it. It actually reminds me of the only other product I've used, another brand. And then the third one is a serum. This is like the first time I've ever put something called a serum on my face.
Wow.
I always thought serum is a thing in your blood. That's all. But anyway, so anyway,
Yeah.
I quite like it actually, and it's part of my daily routine now. So it's like twice a day, and in a really funny and strange way, I kind of look forward to doing it as well. So when I'm showering, I'll just like do a cleanse, and then I'll come out of the shower, and then I'll stick the serum on. I have no idea if I'm doing it correctly. Maybe Lily, I will need a personal consult with
Yeah,
you.
Lily might have to.
Yeah,
You
let's
might
do a men's class.
you
Make
might
into
you
a
might have to teach
model.
me exactly. And then I put it. I just I don't know if I should leave the serum on for long, but anyway, that works really nice, and it's a nice kind of smell, and it's quite light, like it's not oily. I think that's fantastic. And then the ultralight moisturizer, I put it on. So far no one's commented on how young I look, in the last 1 month yet. I mean
We've
generally
seen
I look
face to
fairly
face,
young.
but you're still 18, Ken?
Exactly. So hopefully I get a few nice comments in the next 2 months. And then I decided to also add this what is it? The eye firming serum,
Okay.
right? So it's
Yep.
quite nice. So I've been doing that, but then I need to be more careful because sometimes I have it and it gets into my eye and then it's like it hurts a bit. But apart from that, yeah, it's a really really cool product. I quite enjoy using it. So now I'm starting to look at all the other.
Yeah.
Normally
Any
I never
other
look at
men
Lumiere de
here?
Vie.
Lumiere Holmes,
Yeah,
Uncle Alfred, Dennis. Yeah, try that.
for David
I
as
want to
well.
look as
David,
young as
David.
Ken.
Yes, use the product and you look like as young as me. That's the advertisement.
I think that's what I need to look young.
And the collagen.
Uncle
What
Let's not
about,
Alfred.
what
forget the
about the color of the hair?
Thank you, Ken, for sharing. Appreciate it. So next we have the amazing Irene Chong, who is someone that I really admire, one of the top earners in Market Malaysia. She's going to be sharing a product with us as well. Thank you, Irene.
Thank you, Kitty. Yes, good evening, everyone. Thank you, Kitty, for inviting me tonight to share a product that I like the most. And I think this is the most important product because there's a study saying that there are the calcification disease are still ranked as the top killer in Malaysia. Yeah, so I think
Wow.
everyone should know that why we need vitamin D and plus K2. So let me share screen. I just managed to do this a few PowerPoint within half an hour after my the painter has left. Yeah, about vitamin D plus K2. What is the vitamin D? Vitamin D actually assists calcium absorption, and vitamin K2 ensuring calcium deposition at the right places. A healthy adult is suggested to take at least 45 microgram of vitamin K2 daily. Yeah, 45 microgram of vitamin K2 is actually equivalent to either one of these, like maybe equivalent to 4 kg of beef, 5 liter of milk, and 5 liter of yogurt, and 140 gram of egg, and also like 80 gram of soft cheese. Yeah. Yeah. So the 10 reasons that to supplement daily with this vitamin B, vitamin K2, the active ingredient and the patented ingredient, just like the Astaril in astaxanthin. So the MinaQ7 is in vitamin K2. Yeah, that is the brand of the active ingredient. Yeah, the 10 reason, why we need this vitamin K2, because in Western population, are 97% vitamin K2 deficient. Yeah, so two is to ensure the body properly utilize calcium. Yeah, even though those people who have a very healthy diet also, they still need this vitamin K2. Yeah, and to ensure the body properly utilize calcium, vitamin K2 activates the K-dependent protein that direct calcium to the bones and away from the arteries. Yeah, and number three, healthy arteries contain 100 times more vitamin K2 than the unhealthy arteries. Too much arterial calcium is the number one heart health risk factor. Can stop calcium deposit in arteries and blood vessels. Vitamin K2 as MK7 activates matrix GLA protein, the most potent inhibitor of vascular calcification known today. Improves the blood vessel elasticity. Yeah, groundbreaking 3-year study supplementation with MinaQ7, vitamin K2 only inhibited age-related artery stiffening, but increased elasticity and flexibility of the arteries. So number 6, require for strong, healthy bones. Yeah, bone cells produce osteocalcin, a protein needed to bind calcium to bone. Osteocalcin needs vitamin K2 to function optimally. Number 7, proven bone protection. Breakthrough 3-year study, healthy women taking MinaQ7 vitamin K2 show clinically significant protection of bone strength and density, including the critical spine and hip measurement. Yeah, so number 8, kids have the greatest need for vitamin K2 for optimal bone development. Yeah, studies have shown that children have up to 8 to 10 times more active osteocalcin than adults. That's why now my daughter just have given birth to a daughter, now 10 months old. I gave her a lot of vitamin D K2 during the confinement and also during breastfeeding, because that's very good for the baby. Yeah, so through mother's milk is very effective. Yeah, number 9, kids don't get enough K2 through diet alone. Yeah, because young bones depend on K2 as 90% of peak bone mass is acquired before age 20. Invest in bone health for life. Number 10, why MinaQ7 vitamin K2 is clinically validated and patented. MinaQ is the only vitamin K2 as MK7 clinically studied and proven to deliver bone and cardiovascular benefits, except no substitutes. Yeah, so we have to look for supplements that contain MinaQ7. Okay, the next slide, talking about just a very brief one about K2 and heart health. This vitamin K2 can prevent arterial calcification, reduces arterial stiffness, reduces risk of coronary heart disease, improves bone strength and health, increases vitamin K2 levels in the body. Yeah, and keeping young keeping your arteries young. Unlike what we always hear, coronary heart disease is in fact really an old man's disease. As calcification do not develop overnight, the process of accumulating calcium begins at the young age, require many years of dietary calcium to build up until symptoms appear in life. Long-term intake of natural vitamin K2 inhibits vascular calcification and keeps arteries flexible, which is especially important for heart health. Okay, the next, the last slide is Okay, I think that's all I have to say because I think my time is up. So thank you for listening to this K2 sharing. Thank you,
Right.
Kitty.
Thank you
Yep.
so much, Irene. Wow, that's very detailed. I really love it. And for us, we need to get it from global, but it's really worth it and important. Yeah, definitely. All right. So next, we have Charmaine, who is going to be sharing with us about some partner stores in Singapore. Hey,
Hi
Charmaine.
everyone. Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Not yet. You have to click share screen. Yep, here we are. We can see it. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so just a few quick slides. I hope some of the partner stores that I'm sharing here will also be applicable in your country. So, okay, first thing first is that I used to like to buy books from book depository because it's free shipping and it's very cheap. So until recently, then I realized that in Amazon they also have books available for sale, right? And the price is actually pretty competitive. So, and to my pleasant surprise is that because I couldn't find the book in book depository, and that was how I got to Amazon to actually find the alternative. And I realized that apart from being cheaper, um, the BVs the IBVs that they give for books category is actually so much higher than book depository. So it's actually 6.6%, as compared to book depository, which is just 1%. Yeah. So I was really very happy. And then for some books that, Amazon, the merchants does not actually fulfill, they actually got book depository as the person that deliver to us, right? I mean, they fulfill that. So again, it's like, instead of going to book depository directly, I went to Amazon and I actually purchased a book from book depository but get a higher IBV. So this is really something I just recently realized and was very happy with this finding. Yeah, okay. And then in Singapore, we have this partner stores that is called Giftano. So they sell a lot of vouchers, for services or even for IKEA, or even like electrical appliances, supermarket. Yeah, so for us to actually make full use of our money, right, make our money work harder for us, we typically will go and buy the vouchers and then go and patronize the stores. So one of our team members, actually Trina herself, she was the one actually wanted to get a disk drive, the portable hard disk drive, right, from Seagate, and she realized that at Best Denki itself, 1 terabyte of that storage drive actually was selling at $89, and then when she went to Amazon, she found a 2 terabyte version at a lower rate at $85. And then if you look at the IBV, again, it is like double of what she would have gotten it if she has patronized Best Denki. So this was a finding that sometimes it's good for us to just do window surfing,
Yeah.
in our free time, so that we know what is the market price of certain things, and then when we need it, we know where is the best place to get it. Yeah. Then of course, if there are certain things that we can't get there, then no choice. We will just have to buy the vouchers, and then we will just use it at whichever place it is. Even though it gives a lower IBV, it's better than zero, right?
Yes.
Okay, and then there are also a lot of people asking, like, where can we get big ticket items like washing machine, fridge, freezer, that kind of stuff. And then there was this particular partner stores, we call it EA Mart, that sells groceries. It's a very unlikely place that you can find fridge or even washing machine, stuff like that. But they actually carry such stuff. So one of our partners also, she got a mini fridge, and then also a disinfectant hand sanitizer, and spent about 400 over dollars, and got a 44 IBV. So that's really, really
Wow,
wonderful.
that's great.
Yeah. So
Mm.
she was like sharing with us, this good finding as well. Okay, face mask. I think maybe the WES face mask does deliver to Australia too, if you guys are actually interested to purchase. So this is a Singapore manufacturer face mask. So they have got many different selection, which is very nice. And also, the 3D masks, which are more comfortable to wear for a long time. So they also offer that. And the best thing is that the IBV is very high. It's at 22%. So, even you just buy about 100 over dollars worth of face mask, you get like 20 over IBV. So this is really amazing. Somewhere that, at this present moment of COVID, right, a lot of people needs it. So it's an essential item, and we have a partner store that sells it. And for me, actually, I like to get my mask for my kids from this other partner store called Astro Sports. They actually sell sports equipment and some other gadgets and all. So it's not a likely place where you can find face masks, but somehow I chanced upon it, and my kids just love this particular face mask because it's very comfortable for long-term wear in school. And I actually shared it in my social media and got a 10% discount, I mean, for my next purchase. And because of my sharing, there are actually a lot of friends who asked me to help them buy for their children. So I actually got sales from there. Yeah. So I just wanted to share this particular one, even though, you know, the IBV is not as high as the WES medical face mask. Okay, last but not least is a wine partner store that we have. Again, it's very high IBV, it's 22%. Perhaps I'm not sure about Australia. Probably, you know, you have got a lot of wine partner stores too. But for us, at $185 for a bundle of 6 bottles, you know, it is quite a deal, I think. And one of our partners also spent like 185 and received, you know, almost a 30 IBVs. So this is, you know, they award the IBV very fast as well. So this is one of those that the partner stores that we go to where we need IBVs quickly and also at a pretty reasonable amount. Yeah. Okay, so that's end of my sharing.
All right, thank you. You know, Charmaine, your sharing got us jealous. Very good in Singapore, high IBV. But anyway, that's wonderful. All right, so thank you. You know, for the three speakers that talked about, you know, the products as well as the partner stores. And so, last but not least, we've already passed time. Sorry, guys. Maybe we'll just have one person who've watched Dennis Frank's video to share about what they've learned. Maybe a couple of points. Has anyone watched that video from Dennis Frank about building a share of customer follow-up and converting customer to partner? Anyone? No? No, it's actually a relatively new one. In there, he's actually got a lot of different points, but I suppose maybe we can actually wait till our next month to add that as our agenda item. If you haven't watched it, I would highly recommend that you, oh, Ken, you have? Maybe can you give us one point?
Oh, I like how he actually talks about sending a brochure like to your customers. It's not they made it quite cheap now, the company. So I sent that out, and then just yesterday, like one of my customers like, hey, you know, what's this this, and I sent some sample packs. She's like, what's trim tea? I'm like, trim tea. It's like the best, man. It's best living tea. And anyway, so it's quite cool. Like from that, you know, managed to sell 1 pack of trim tea, my first ever trim tea sale, and omega-3 as well from Global. So that was quite cool. And a few other sales, you know, I won't bore you the details, but it's quite cool. Yeah, just that cost a little bit of money upfront, but yeah, I think it's definitely worth it. And now they can't run, but they have a brochure, you know, that sits in their house that they can read every day if they want to.
Yeah, but now the COVID restrictions hopefully are lifted soon in all different countries, then we can go back to doing more trial size marketing. But thank you Ken for sharing. Alrighty, well, I think we can just call it a night, and thank you everyone for being on. And I have to say before I end that, as I review and reflect, I consider you all my family, and I just want to say thank you for being there as we support one another in our Asia Pacific region. And of course, Asia Pacific Leadership School is coming up this weekend. Enjoy, those of you who are attending it. All right, take care. Bye.
Good night. Good night. Thank you, Katie.
Thank you, Uncle Alfred. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Thank you. Bye-bye.